So apparently Windows 10X has been canned. What's going on, everybody? Kwaku here, back with another video, another face video. It's been a while, I know. And today's video is a little sad news. A couple of days ago, I got word that Windows 10X has been either indefinitely delayed, canned, canceled, whatever you choose to say. That is what's happened to Windows 10X. It had been rumored years ago that Windows 10X was coming out, or it had been announced at, I think, a Surface event or Build. Years ago, Windows 10X would come out, and we had the Surface Neo reveal. That would come out like the following year, which is last year when the pandemic hit, I believe. I could be wrong. And now the latest news or rumors is that Windows 10X has been canned or indefinitely delayed so Microsoft could work on the next generation of Windows 10, or then the next big update for Windows, which is supposedly Sun Valley, that UI refresh of Windows 10. With a lot of elements that relates to Windows 10X. So going a little deeper with my notes here. So why was it indefinitely canned? Again, rumors are saying that it's because Microsoft wanted to focus their efforts, all efforts, on the next Windows update, the next biggest Windows update so far, a big UI refresh or UX refresh, whatever you choose to call it. It's kind of interesting that would be the reason why, but it looks like they want to put full workmanship towards that. And to think about Windows 10X, we also have to figure out, what is Windows 10X? So you new people out there watching this channel, you might wonder, what even is Windows 10X? I've never heard about it. What is it? So Windows 10X was supposed to be Microsoft's competitor to Chrome OS, Chromebooks. So it's to be run on only new machines, supposedly ARM-based machines. It was originally going to be for dual screen devices, aka Surface Neo, and then they later on said that, hey, we're going to only first focus on single screen experiences, i.e. Chromebook style experiences, which are single screens. And we had a bunch of like preview builds come out for it for the Windows emulator. And now it looks like it's been canned. Windows 10 and Windows 10X, they run on still the central same kernel. But again, Windows 10X is really stripped down. It's got a centered start menu. It's like a different start experience altogether. We even had the boot sounds. We had everything. It had just a whole fresh experience, and I'll show some images and some videos of that experience right there. It was an interesting one. It was supposed to be that smooth, really quick, because it didn't run Win32 apps. It only ran just the Windows Store apps or Microsoft Store apps, like predecessors like Windows 10 in S mode, like Windows RT. They've tried to do this thing so far. We had thought third time's a charm, and it looks like third time is still not a charm for this thing. It's just very, very interesting that Windows 10X, something that seemed like it was pretty far in development, all of a sudden is getting scrapped potentially. Now, I want to say stuff about the potentials or possibilities for the future of this whole thing. Now, I have a feeling, I have a hunch that even if in the near future we don't get anything with Windows 10X at all, I feel like we might actually still see something from Windows 10X, because we do have Surface hardware. We have that Surface Neo that did get shown off at a Surface event in the past, like October Surface event a couple years back. And it felt pretty good, according to a lot of people. Obviously, it was the early stages. And then also we have Sun Valley. Now we have Sun Valley, which is supposedly that next generation of Windows 10. It has a UI refresh, like I said multiple times before. And it has a lot of the same elements that were shown in Windows 10X, which is very strange. It has that floating start menu, supposedly. It's got a lot of floating elements. There's been actually some people who have been able to find back in the command line or PowerShell of like the right click elements of the taskbar. When you right click, normally your elements of what you can choose, whether you want a new window or whatever it is attached to the taskbar. People have been able to see that Microsoft has hidden code to allow those elements to float similar to how the start menu experience of Windows 10X is. People have been seeing things about the action center also not being that super attached rectangle that's on the right side of our screen, but rather something more floaty, something that is more compact and less taking up the whole right side of the screen. So there's a lot of interesting things coming that have some tie-in elements of Windows 10X in there, and it feels like if we don't get Windows 10X soon, I still feel like we might see something down the road for Windows 10X. Even if they don't call it Windows 10X, it could probably be called something completely different, because personally, the name Windows 10X is very confusing. Microsoft, what you need to learn is that when you title a new OS that looks different, Windows, it just makes it confusing to consumers, because they'll look at a Best Buy listing and they'll be like, oh, this runs Windows 10X or Windows 10 in S mode, or this runs anything that's Windows related, Windows RT. Average consumers that aren't watching this channel see Windows written next to any device they're planning on getting, automatically their heads trigger like, hey, I should be able to run Chrome on there. I should be able to run these like iTunes on there, even though it is in the store. I should be able to run a bunch of things that anyone can run, Win32 apps. I should be able to run any of those things, and I can't. How come? So maybe they're rethinking the idea, and hopefully they're going to learn and rethink the name. Especially if you're going to have a whole new OS, probably don't use the word Windows with it, even though it is under Windows's kernel. So that's about it for this video. That is some brief thoughts and news with the whole scrapping of Windows 10X. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. My name is Kwaku, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.